Hello, world. Tara Sue Moore from Stockbroker to Firewalker back for broadcast 3 on day 10 of Find It, Feel It, Free It. So, my version, and today you're getting all the inside looks into really how my life is. So, I'll talk about what's going on behind me in a minute. My moniker, if you will, that I'm running with right now from Stockbroker to Firewalker. And you're on day 10, broadcast 3 of my own personal way of exhibiting and being a part of the movement that I'm asking other people to join me on. So, what you're participating here, and I don't know how long I'll do this for, but at the current moment, it's supporting me well. And at the current moment, we're in the middle of a time where, numerology wise, um, between February 2nd, 2022, today's February 20th, 2022, 2 more days from now, February 22nd, 2022. It's a lot of twos. And I know a couple numerologists who are way better in this area than I am, but you don't dance deeply in the world between the mainstream and the metaphysical for several decades without having some knowledge. And for me, too, is always a bit of a place to pause. There's a feel of patience, there's a feel of wait. There's a whole bunch with twos. So, at a minimum, um, I plan to continue to do this, with the anchor being the physical crystal cavern, which I haven't made it to yet today. Um, so, since I was last on my broadcast, and again, I'm stepping into ceremony with fire tonight, and as always happens when I know I'm stepping into fairly intense ceremony, memories and things start happening. It's fascinating that bring pieces up for you. And just the way it works. Ended up with a Twitter connection coming through from a long time ago, from my time when I was still trying to be a stockbroker. And ironically, I met this person when under the understanding that if I wanted to keep my job, I had no choice. But I left my fully nursing 4-month-old baby, my youngest. I abandoned her to vanish for 3 days for a training course that I was given the choice of take the course, get there, or risk your job. Because the reality is, legally, you have a mat leave, but when you have a job where you can't get someone to cover you, legality is all very great. You don't practically have a job where there's a situation where someone can cover you. So you make your choices. And in connecting with this person, I wrote the words, in hindsight, I made the wrong choice. And I have been doing a huge amount of inner child work, and some of that does connect to that's my youngest daughter, Tamsin. So, as a 4-month-old baby, she went from having a full time mom, and very full time, because we got an experience that very few women really get to have, at least in today's society. Because at the time we had a full time nanny, but I wasn't a brand new mom. So, when I had my twins, it was just overwhelming. Whereas when I had Tamsin, it was one baby, not two. And my twins were still being taken care of full time by the full time caregiver we had for them. And so I went from being this insane, working, career driven woman with her children being raised by someone else to being at home. It ended up being 4 months, not 3, with this one baby. And it was so much easier than it had been with 2. And it really was. It was one of the most heavenly 3 to 4 months of my life. I had a job. I knew what I was doing. I was good at it. I was capable of it. And it was some of the most amazing times I've had. And so, to that little girl who's not so little, they're all bigger than me now, I will take that to fire tonight and work on forgiving myself for abandoning you, Tamsin Bodner. Tamsin Petra Bodner. So, the other thing that's happened for me when I'm like this, I decided to stay home and cook. I'm making soup. Soup, of course, have no teeth, but knowing I have soup that I really like, this happens to be green Thai, frozen in my freezer, ready, makes me feel safe because I know there'll be food. And I've been having trouble finding a song. I know that when I'm like this, also, if I can find music and settle into it, and in part that will get me moving so I don't get too stuck. It will get my hips moving, which is where we tend to lock into our past traumas, and keep me from getting locked in it. And the song I've now been listening to, and I haven't figured out on these how to connect you, but for anyone listening, you can go find it, is Find Your Way from Avatar, or I think that's also Uncle Iroh's, if I'm pronouncing that right, song. So I'm going to quickly read a few of those words and then do my own heart focused breathing and invite anyone still on to radiate with me. You break apart the cracks to find what's underneath, but there you found more questions to the answers that you seek. Your destiny is not decided by another's wants. Look in yourself and listen closely to your heart's response. You can't always see the light at the end of the tunnel, but if you keep moving, better days are to follow. Your failures are an opportunity to try again, and you'll eventually find find your way, and mold your own destiny. The next line really hits me because I'm a perfectionist. Perfection and power are highly overrated, and the peace in oneself is sadly understated. To achieve your true desires, you don't have to do it alone. Look inward for what you want. The path is your own. And today, that is bringing comfort to me. I don't know that I fully got to my own feeling of freedom, but I'm sharing the things that I do to let me feel free. And also sharing, letting people witness some of the things, some of the beliefs in me, some of the memories, some of the things I need to own and then forgive myself for, giving me an opportunity to voice, complete the connection for some of those traumas in the hope that they will then no longer impact me. So beginning the heart focused breathing, breathing a little more slowly and deeply than usual. Seeing, sensing, feeling, and imagining that with each breath, the energy of the breath or the breath itself is flowing in and out of your heart space. And again, for me, so interesting. My body has switched patterns on me. Now my body actually wants to do a full in and out as I flow up from my heart through my head, and a full in and out as I flow down and back to my heart. Okay, that's working for me, and I'm going to radiate or ask my heart to radiate this feeling. It's a slightly complicated breathwork pattern because it gets your energy going in an opposite direction of the breath. So, but when it flows up, my breath and my energy move together. I'm radiating. And just a shout out to Dan Brule and Just Breathe and my beautiful friend Michelle from Romania, who introduced me to Dan's work. He's a breathwork facilitator. So again, radiating the feeling of what I just read to everyone anywhere in the world, but especially in Canada who needs it today. Be that a part of our leadership or a part of the current ralliers, which would appear to be the current version of the opposition. I'm actually feeling a call to radiate this, especially to Justin Trudeau. You're getting beaten up right and left. Well, I don't personally agree with the way things have moved forward. I'm not sure I would have done anything different if I was standing in your shoes. I will never know because I appreciate I haven't had to have that experience. Okay. So with that, for anyone on, please keep radiating your own version of freedom, natural transmission of your heart. Figure out what makes you feel free. If you're feeling free in the moment, that part's done for you. Take a little time to coherently connect your feeling of freedom through all of your power centers, head, heart, body, to make it simple. Once you have it flowing through all power centers, simply now ask your heart to flow out that coherent sense of freedom to merge with the collective. Again, my true goal being that I do believe that if enough of us do this, we really can create an energetic, co creative, collective Petri dish of all of our freedoms harmoniously merged. And out of that, we have a much better likelihood of a structure or a system or a way of living emerging that will support all of us, not just whoever the current chosen few are. See you again in 2 hours.